Perhaps you heard of Ayurveda in passing and became interested in it, um, or saw that it had something special to offer, that it was somehow either beautiful or enjoyable, or that it had penetrating insight into human nature, and that sort of caught your attention and inspired you to maybe improve some health problems that you were having, or just you became hungry for understanding the body at a deeper level. Maybe you already are in the health and wellness profession and wanted to just go deeper and saw in Ayurveda an opportunity for that. Whatever drew you here, I want to welcome you and um, and just call out that it is exciting and inspiring to study Ayurveda, to go deeper with it, and it does continue growing in you for many years to come. As one person mentioned in our pre-presentation conversation, Ayurveda is both simple and deep, and I enjoy that very much about it, that it's profound and simple at the same time, that you can begin to do it and then grow in it over many years. So my name's John Immel. I'm the director of the Joyful Belly School of Ayurveda. We have been providing Ayurveda education to the public since 2008, and it has been an exciting journey for us as well as our students. Here's some words from our students. I feel like I'm bursting with bodily awakening. My skin is more vibrant than ever. This is so powerful. At this time of year, I want to share my gratitude for being a part of this transformative education. Ayurveda truly offers a new beginning. I think all of us who have gone deep enough into Ayurveda can echo the sentiments of Angela Rosoff expressed here. I am thankful and grateful for you and the creation of Joyful Belly and the MID program. You have a stellar group of teachers, yourself included, and I feel truly blessed to have been led down this path as part of my journey. Yes, we not only focused on Ayurveda, but focused on communicating Ayurveda in a way that you can understand and then use and apply in your life. One more quote here. As far as the course, it has been an eye-opening experience for me. As a pediatric gastroenterologist, there's so much I have been doing as an allopathic physician for the last 22 years, and I wish I had stepped into Ayurveda sooner. It's not too late, however, as I grasp the Ayurveda concept. Understanding why, how, and what should be done has become easier, and I'm enjoying that very much. Thank you. So Ayurveda, we should understand that Ayurveda is not so much a body of knowledge as a method. It's a different method to health. And because it's a method, there are you might say that it's a bit of a shift in your way of thinking to do Ayurveda. And so Dr. Helen John Kelly mentions that about grasping the Ayurveda concept. It's not so much of just learning an herb, but a whole concept. And that I think is fun and very exciting and very true. So it will inform the way you see things, particularly the material world. So great. In today's talk, I'm going to mention briefly an orientation to studying Ayurveda, why study Ayurveda. Then I'll talk about our certification courses and details about the courses. So we'll get started here. There are 4 courses that we offer now. We added a Panchakarma course last year. The first course is the Fundamentals of Ayurvedic Medicine. We call it fundamentals because you get a comprehensive education in Ayurveda's theory and approach and how to apply that in a clinical context. So fundamentals does not mean basics, but that you will have a strong foundation for clinical practice. Actually, we don't offer any basic courses, you might say. In all of our courses, you will be brought to a level of excellence in your Ayurveda practice. That's what we're focused on, is that you have the confidence and skill to heal yourself, your loved ones, and the public. So this fundamentals course is a 2-year comprehensive program. It's entirely online, no travel required, 3 coaching calls a week. First year, you study Ayurveda's theory and approach to health. And that goes from imbalances to advanced diseases. We'll be studying advanced diseases right alongside imbalances from day one in clinical context. Second year is clinical Ayurveda, where you will actually be meeting with clients and you will receive supervision and review by mentor teachers for over 95 clinical encounters. In year 2 is when we apply the theory to various parts of the body as well. So once we learn all Ayurveda's concepts, we're now ready to talk about tongue assessment, pulse assessment, assessment of the skin, the eyes, and other diagnostic tools from Ayurveda. So first year is understanding, second year is application. The goal of this course is your ability to see the whole person, mentally, emotionally, physically, with special emphasis on the physical understanding of their body. What parts, in what ways are certain organs hyperactive? Which ones are weak? How the different functions of various organs and expressions of their activity are interacting with one another to create a whole picture of the person's health. It's always a fascinating thing by the time you get to the end of year 1 and you're just, people watching changes completely, right? You're walking down the sidewalk and you just can see a ton of things in every person that walks by. It's not unusual to see what's going on in their body because everything their organs do is important, and imbalances manifest in many ways. And so you can quite easily and effortlessly see many of them. And then the greater challenge, and believe me, this is a challenge, is to put together all the pieces of the puzzle into a kind of understanding of cause and effect. And that will be a very exciting thing to grasp and yield to very effective remedies. So we look to see the whole person. We look to understand how to do an analysis and present remedies in effective ways that the clients will actually do them and then get the benefits of Ayurveda. And all of this presented in a way that makes common sense. So you feel confident in the methods and techniques that you're using, right? Ayurveda is, you can see that maybe because it's from another culture, it's often presented in a very exotic way. But nothing could make more common sense than Ayurveda. And so we like to teach Ayurveda in the way that it was developed, as a common sense way of understanding the body. And so when you take our course, you will see that Ayurveda's profoundness is that it's just so regular and grounded, insightful, and useful. Right? Our second, so that's the first course, Fundamentals of Ayurvedic Medicine. Second course is the Ayurvedic Herbalist course, where we will learn advanced clinical strategies, formulas, and pharmacology. So now, why do I say advanced clinical strategies when I say the word when I say the word herbalist? And I put the word formulas first, right? We have to understand that herbs are more specific than food. And so when we start to study herbs, right alongside of it, we're studying disease. So advanced understanding of disease, and that goes hand in hand with specific use of herbs and the specific pharmacology of herbs. So, so we will talk about the different strategies for building herb formulas, the different approaches to using herbs effectively, both in Ayurveda and Chinese medicine. I think it's really important there that we look beyond the paradigms of Ayurveda to other systems of medicine that think similarly. So Chinese herbalism is very much goes hand in hand with the Ayurveda style of thinking. And so this course is going to give you broad herbal strategies from several traditions. We'll talk about Western herbalism, Ayurvedic herbalism, and Chinese herbalism, and bring those together. Now, we have to understand and know that Western herbalism has its roots in Greek medicine, but has largely lost its foundation. And so Ayurveda provides a foundation for understanding Western herbs that was lost. You might say that Ayurveda is the way herbalists discovered and figured out how to use Western herbs. I mean, they called it Greek medicine there, but the paradigm is very similar. That because they understood Greek medicine, they were capable of developing the Western herbal apothecary. And so so if you are an herbalist, I would say take this course. And if you've studied Ayurveda but aren't yet an herbalist, I would say take this course because it will sort of blow the doors off your clinical practice. We'll do medicine making in this course as well, in addition to understanding how to think and develop formulations, right? The herbalist course, I mean, as much as you learn in the fundamentals course, you will learn it again in the herbalist course. So however you felt like, when you started day one knowing nothing about Ayurveda to the end of your first 2 years, you will feel that way again as you get to the end of your 3rd year in the Ayurvedic herbalist course. Most students take this course after the Ayurveda Foundations course, but not always. This is for clinicians who wish to excel and who are excited to study herbs the way they were actually developed, mapping experience to pharmacology. I remember the first time I drank goldenrod tea, and my herbalist teacher, didn't tell me it was goldenrod tea, but just asked me to relate the pharmacology of it. And I remember saying, "Oh, well, that warms the kidneys." And my herbal teacher was like, "How did you know that?" And I was like, "Well, I felt it." And Ayurveda will give you that understanding to be able to say things like, "Oh, that herb warms the kidneys," right? Mastering Ayurveda Digestion and Nutrition is the 3rd course. This is a comprehensive course in Ayurveda digestive tract pathology. It's the Ayurveda equivalent of a gastroenterologist. Ayurveda digestive tract pathology and Ayurvedic nutrition. This is a 1-year course. The herbalist course and the digestion course are both 1-year courses. The fundamentals course is a 2-year course. You really don't want to rush the fundamentals course. I've seen people try to do it in a year, We could offer a course in a year, right? What would it take for us to, you know, uh, change what, a web page for us to say, hey, we're going to offer this in a year, right? We don't offer it in a year because that doesn't produce the same quality of result. I would not take a course that has any shorter than 2 years for the foundations portion of your training. Anyway, Mastering Ayurveda Digestion and Nutrition, a 1-year course designed to elevate your expertise in digestive health and food to the level of gastroenterologists, Ayurveda gastroenterologists, that you can provide high quality digestive coaching to your community. This is also a very unique offering. So often in health and wellness, you get general programs that give you a general understanding and do not offer specialization programs. We felt it was very important that we offer our students specialized training. And that's what this Mastering Digestion and Nutrition course is about, where we really go deep into that organoleptic discovery of pharmacology of food. That idea that you can eat something and say, oh, yeah, that's stimulating my pancreas right now. Or, oh, that is soothing and smoothing my liver. Oh, that is moving heat to the periphery. Things like that. Oh, thinning my fluids, increasing, soothing my nervous system and balancing blood chemistry. All those kinds of statements are what we will go deep with in the digestion course. All right, and finally we get to the Ayurveda Spa and Panchakarma Cleanse course, the 4th course. Typically, the students take the fundamentals course first, the herbalist course second, and the Panchakarma course third. And along the way or after, they may take the digestion specialty course if they have a particular interest in that area. So this Spa and Panchakarma Cleanse course is the most advanced level of training, kind of at the Ayurveda doctor level of training. And it is where we will do a more detailed study of the ancient texts to develop additional accuracy and precision to avoid harm. Panchakarma can be harmful. We want to be careful with it. So in this course, we'll learn more classical training, Panchakarma cleansing, Marma point therapy, nutraceuticals, and modern medical testing. So how to read blood tests, stool tests, that kind of thing. The bulk of this course will be ancient texts and Panchakarma cleansing. So that's a 2-year course that's part-time. This course is designed for somebody who has a clinical practice and wishes to deepen it. All of our courses far exceed standard competency levels for the profession. You can ask any of our students for a confirmation of that, and they will tell you, oh, yeah. So there's like a standard curriculum, and then there's Joyful Belly's curriculum for these courses. My background, I was a mathematician at Harvard University as an undergrad, and great academics has always been a passion of mine. I have a calling to be a teacher and a love of teaching that I think is a great, you might say, a great combination. As a mathematician, I'm not shy of deep thinking, in addition to having a strong people-centered focus on communication. So our courses do exceed standard competency levels. They'll be challenging, but doable. And we aim to attract high-level students who are seeking excellence. And so we know you're busy, right? Anyone who's that kind of person is a busy person. And so our course offers a lot of flexibility for busy people to pursue excellence. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, we want to help you have the confidence and excellence to be a healer in your community. I've said this already, that many schools present Ayurveda mystically, that almost like it's a miraculous thing instead of a common sense kind of approach. And that I might say you might say that's fun. It is almost exciting to get out of your mind, you might say, and into mystical realms. But I don't think that that's what Ayurveda is, and that can make Ayurveda very difficult to apply and actually get the insights you need to grow in your awareness of health. And so you'll see that we will aim to inspire you with Ayurveda's profoundness and insight, but in a very common sense way that I think is satisfying. Yeah. We are here to focus on your clinical competency. Yes, testing your knowledge of Ayurveda. Yes, testing your knowledge of Ayurveda terms. But most important, can you improve the quality of life and health of your clients? That's what our goal is as a school, is that you are able to do that well, and that you are taught how to communicate Ayurveda to others, not just to give them remedies, but to explain Ayurveda's methodology and thinking so that everybody gets it, and that Ayurveda itself becomes a grassroots public health movement. I mean, it is that already, but we aim to help you in that mission to make Ayurveda accessible to everyone, right? So we'll be looking to develop your insight and intuition through common sense understanding, detailed knowledge, and a rational approach, right? Intuition is the fruit of understanding and knowledge. You become intuitive when you start to understand the principles through over and over and over again, internalizing the approach and methods. And that's what we're going to do. It's an immersion style of learning. We'll be experiencing, not just studying, we're experiencing and applying every step of the way. All right? We will teach you how to work with clients. We will teach you how to get clients. We have a strong focus on business training and how the business of Ayurveda works so that you are thriving in your practice and able to offer it as a result. All right, I'll talk a little bit now about some of our teaching style and some of the levels of support that we offer. And you can find this on the Joyful Belly website by clicking on Study Ayurveda and just clicking on About the School. You can read all these in a little bit more depth. But you'll see right at the top is we aim for experiential learning, that we want you to experience Ayurveda. And so our whole teaching method, our pedagogy, is on active learning methods. We use active learning methods so that you engage with and apply the knowledge to heal yourself first and others, the ones that you love and your clients as you progress. So our course is practical and expect greater body awareness through the study. We designed all of our courses to be online courses. This back in 2008, Joyful Belly is a pioneer in online teaching of Ayurveda, and we do study the best ways to bring Ayurveda and use multimedia heavily to bring health up close and personal, much more so than you would get in a traditional in-person classroom setting where the teacher might be 50 feet away from you. You will be seeing the tongue up close and everything up close. through that, very experiential style that online education offers, which is difficult to replicate in a traditional classroom style. I've already talked about this 2 years, the length of education. You really want 2 years to build that foundation. And yeah, I'm going to say, just about price of education, I'll just say this. Harvard is not the cheapest school, but you can actually have a successful career, and your lifetime earning potential makes it worth it, right? So we all know that, that we don't evaluate education based on price, because sometimes a small additional cost up front can result in a lifetime of improved ability to thrive in your career. I'll just say that. Training teachers, we talked a little about pedagogy, active learning method, multiple intelligences and learning styles. We really believe and take this to heart, that the mark of a truly great teacher and a truly great intellectual is the ability to explain complex topics simply. I said a lot about this already, but I'll just say that it's a truly smart person can explain complex things in a very simple manner. All right, clinical mentoring and support. We provide you with extensive clinical tools and apps that will greatly enhance your learning and both self-awareness and create efficiency in your consultations and help you provide accurate remedies at your fingertips. So I'll show you one of those, which you could check out. IntelligentHerb.com. Let's see if I can pull this up here. This is one of the tools that we will use in our clinical practice. And this is a really fun tool and will help you with your clinical case management once you start seeing clients. Provides great suggestions. Okay. In addition to that, other tools as well. We'll provide you with clinical mentorship from experienced senior teachers that will stay with you throughout the program. So we're not just like bringing in one-off teachers who show up for a day so that we can list a bunch of teachers on our faculty, right? You see this, that some health and wellness schools will do this. They're like, oh, I found that celebrity and this celebrity and that celebrity. You can, watch those celebrities on YouTube anytime you want. They're like all over the internet. What you want is a teacher that's going to be with you the whole entire program, who knows your name and is there to help fill the gaps in your education, not just showing up for a day, right? So our teachers will be with you from day one, and they're invested in our curriculum to help you succeed. We give you your own customized, fully functional clinic. So you will get a clinic through an online clinic through, your study here. And you can just, like, when our students graduate, it's not like they graduate and then they build their practice. You will build your practice while you study through using our tools. And then when you graduate, you'll just keep doing what you're doing. You'll be charging clients while you are a student, and you will just keep charging them after you graduate. So it's not like you have to figure out how to start your business afterwards. We walk you through that whole process, providing the business training and the marketing and promotional understanding so that you get it, what you need to do in order to be successful in Ayurveda. We provide a lot of support, homework assistance calls, student support staff, student chat groups, so that we are constantly in touch with you. We're always reviewing our students' progress on the back end, and seeing who needs help and reaching out and like, hey, how are you doing? That kind of thing, right? So that all our students cross the finish line and do well. So they'll be grading your work. They'll be providing feedback to you. and insights, correcting misunderstandings, all of that. So a huge support component, and that's really what you're paying for, right? Is you're paying for this, business support, homework support, clinical mentoring and support. Yes, of course, we spent 10,000 hours putting together the curriculum, a team of Ayurveda teachers putting together each presentation in the program, so that it was broad and different perspectives and all of those things. Yes. But in addition to that, all this additional support that's provided. You will develop a community through our courses with buddy assignments, student chat. We learn together. This is not a self-paced program. We've tried to run a self-paced program, did not produce the same quality of student. Scientific studies show that self-paced programs do not have the same level of engagement. You will not learn the same amount. So we start together as a group. We're friends. You will be friends with other students. You'll know their health stuff. You'll be doing buddy assessments with them, and knowing the details about their life, and and seeing how they progress over the year, and learning Ayurveda just from your students healing themselves. The other students in the class. So teachers know you. You can expect to have a community through this program, and then that will continue through alumni support. We do have a vibrant alumni community that you have lifelong membership to, and access to business advisors. All right. What about Joyful Belly? Are we competent to deliver Ayurveda education to you? Well, hopefully I've given you, some kind of impression that, as director of the school, that I have the competency to, teach Ayurveda to you. Hopefully you get that impression. I certainly hope you feel that way. But I also want to point to some just sort of objective things about Joyful Belly that you can see our commitment to Ayurveda, our leadership in our field, and our commitment to public service, right? And you can, if we click over here, we can take a look at just some of the things we've done. Well, if you want to know, whether or not we know Ayurveda, just look at the thousands of novel, integrative, and experiential articles we offer for free to the public. You can look at, especially in the diet and recipe section, food and recipes, you can just see literally thousands of articles that we've been developing and working on since 2006. We've developed filtering algorithms that help practitioners all over the world simplify the finding of food and recipes. Like, I can go right on the Joyful Belly website and click on food and pull up Vata pacifying food, and then say, oh, I would like Vata pacifying spleen tonics. And it'll just show me the list of Vata pacifying spleen tonics. And so you can get a diagnosis from a practitioner, and very quickly, using our database of over 150,000 cross-references, you can quickly filter in and dial in on the exact foods that your clients need. And that increases your effectiveness and reduces the time that it takes you to offer quality remedies to your clients. We've also formalized Ayurveda's theory of medicine as biocharacteristics and created the American Association of Biocharacteristics Clinicians, so that we could formalize Ayurveda in a way that the scientific community can test it. And I think that's important work to build evidence basis for Ayurveda. Ayurveda can prove itself effective. We developed many other diet and food tools to help the public make recipe and ingredient selection easier. We've collated over 75,000 health profiles to give you detailed biocharacteristics of disease. I can look at diabetes here and go down and see what kinds of signs. I mean, diabetes is superlative. Look at all these 100% here. It's superlative in the sense of you can easily see whether diabetes is a dry disorder or a sweet kapha disorder. And we provide that Venn diagram sort of maps with all kinds of symptoms and stuff. So you get the information you need when you don't know. I mean, there happens when I meet a client and I may know a lot about many conditions, but it often happens that I have some questions. It's nice to know that Joyful Belly can provide some answers in those cases. We also, in the last 3 years, conducted over 150 novel food research studies and published these results to the public. You can see all the different food studies we've run so that we can report on things like peanuts and what is the effect of peanuts on body temperature, toxicity, hydration, nervous system, digestion, tongue, stool, urine, sweat, and other systemic effects. And this, again, provides evidence basis and helps you answer questions that you need to know when you are meeting with a client and trying to figure out how to heal them. We have body maps and that we've developed so that you can see charts for your clients and intelligent herb, which I already mentioned. So those are some things that you could say, oh, what are Joyful Belly's credentials? Well, look at what we've produced and see our credentials firsthand. Check it out, and then you'll see, do we know Ayurveda? Or, are we joking around? Right? So we do. And we provide all of these tools free of charge to the public. These are tools we could charge for, but that's not our mission. Our mission is the accessibility of Ayurveda to the world. That's why we are a school, because if you know Ayurveda, Ayurveda is more accessible to others. So that is why we want to teach you. We are a state licensed college. State licensing is a demanding process. I have to go through a whole audit every single year. And we spend many thousands of dollars on reviewing all best practices of the school so that we are on top of our game. And a lot of schools will try to circumvent the state licensing process and so that they're not a college. We are a college. And we embrace the process of state licensing, and we embrace the state audit every year. I improve the functioning of the school because of the state audit. I love it. It's a lot of work. I don't like the work, but I do like the opportunity to improve, and it's great. Great. And of course, we have demonstrated our leadership in the area of food and digestion. That's, without question. So I'll also say that we are largely association independent. A lot of these associations in the Ayurvedic industry, they scare students into thinking they have some kind of legal authority over their practice. They don't. And most associations simply exist to protect the schools that fund them. And so, while we follow professional standards for curriculum as a minimum and go far beyond it, we do not sort of put ourselves in the association box, you might say. And you can read more about this if you go onto the this courses page and just check this out. You'll see a little more detailed understanding of why we keep ourselves independent from associations. And yeah, no hidden costs. That's not like when you look on our tuition page and you see we jump to the fundamentals page, Ayurveda Health Counselor page, you can see tuition. You just click on see tuition and it's right there. And you can see what the total tuition is and our payment plans and everything. In our course catalog, you can see additional materials. There's some books to buy and herbs and stuff for the body awareness experiments. They come to about $350 roughly, give or take, depending on the course. So you're looking at tuition plus basically that $350. and mentoring, you will charge your clients for your consultation fees, and then you will use those fees to pay the mentor while you are in the program. And then, as I said, when you graduate, you will keep that fee yourself when you're done with mentoring. Okay. So that's how that works. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So that's some of the support that we offer. And what I would say the measure of our quality is what we produce, right? Both the student, the kind of student that we produce, as well as all of these wonderful tools and information that we offer for free as a public service. You can use that to understand the kind of quality education that you'll get at Joyful Belly. Let's go over just a few things on why study Ayurveda. One, because you believe the natural way is the best foundation for health. We see in Ayurveda something wholesome, right? Wholesome, meaning that with regard to the whole, something that satisfies and improves quality of life and integrates into their entire quality, integrates into their whole life, that it's not a burden to do Ayurveda. The people who study Ayurveda who find meaning and generosity in improving the health and quality of life in their communities, to the people they love. The greatest minds of all time applied their talent to medicine. It is one of the most noble pursuits you can do, to have an impact on your community and their quality of life. It's a very noble thing to do. I have never met an Ayurveda practitioner who regretted studying Ayurveda. I've met Western medical doctors who regret studying Western medicine. I've met accountants who don't want to be accountants anymore. I've met software programmers and even mathematicians who do not wish to, study math, but wish to branch out from it. But I have never met a person who regrets studying Ayurveda. 5 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, they still love it. They may postpone learning it till next year because of time or finances, but does it ever really change? I mean, will it change by then? Is finances magically going to be different next year? Oftentimes, Ayurveda is the change, right? Like if you knew Ayurveda and you could live in a more grounded way, then your time and finances will change. I mean, Ayurveda is the change. For less than your groceries each month, you can get an education that is going to save maybe tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands on your health bill. Not to mention a new career, right? I do know plenty of people that regret not studying Ayurveda, delaying it year after year. I do know many of those people. Health and wellness is a $1 trillion industry. It is actually worldwide expenditures on health and wellness outpace worldwide expenditures on Western medicine. And that has since like 2014. That was as of a decade ago, health and wellness expenditures globally were greater than health and wellness, than Western medical expenditures. And that gap has only grown as health and wellness has exploded. So Ayurveda is rapidly growing in popularity, but I still think there's opportunity to lead that trend. Right? How many, Ayurveda practitioners in this country specialize in diabetes? How many specialize in arthritis? Right? You can just pick that fruit and, be the national authority for arthritis and Ayurveda, if you wish. Okay. So is it a good career choice? We will walk you step by step through creating your business, from developing your marketing plan. No, you don't have to be an extrovert to be good at marketing. We'll show you why you do not need to be an extrovert to be good at marketing. And I've talked a little bit about this already, so I'm just going to keep on moving through. In fact, you could check it out right now. I recommend it. We have a page on Joyful Belly on a 5-step plan to building your Ayurveda career, I would just, if your spouse is like, hey, honey, what is this Ayurveda thing you're interested in? Because sometimes, the people around you just want to know you're making a good choice for your future, right? So that's their motivation. So you are following a calling and something you love, and they want to know that this is, grounded and solid choice. This 5-step Ayurveda career plan will help you, and I'll just put it in the chat so you can get the link, will just help you flesh out your vision a little bit, and that will help you talk to other people and improve and increase their confidence in you and your plan, right? So I recommend that you check that out and put it together. It'll just flesh out your vision a little more, and we can, we'll develop this organically as we study together. Okay. All right, good. Licensing. Ayurveda is unregulated in the USA and Canada, which means it is legal for you to see clients. You don't need to pass any board exam or have any additional certification beyond studying at Joyful Belly. Once you understand Ayurveda, you can go and practice it, right? However, although you don't need to get a license, we do, right? The state of North Carolina requires that post-secondary educational institutions are licensed. And so the state licenses and restricts us, not you. We have to pass an audit, but you do not. Okay? I just want to be clear on that. And here's a picture of our license. This is the main credential that you want to see when you're evaluating a school, is that they have their school license. Okay? And we do belong to some associations. You can see here NASC, ADP, AABC, OPNA. I mean, we are happy to join a few of these, but I just want to say it again, that they're not a measure of the quality of our school. Look at our content and you can see what we produce. But yeah, nice to know others, are on board with us, but I would say the proof's in the pudding. Okay. So you can register with AABC as an Ayurveda health counselor, as a clinical Ayurveda herbalist, as an Ayurveda digestive health coach, as a biocharacteristics clinician. That's with AABC. Don't need to, but you can. You can register as a health coach with AADP, the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. You can register as an Ayurveda food consultant with the Association of Ayurvedic Professionals of North America, or register as an Ayurveda health counselor with OPNA as well. All right. Yeah, good. I've talked a lot about this. We show you how to be a teacher of health, not just to offer, to point your clients to remedies, but how to teach them how to live. My whole life, I've been a passionate teacher in one capacity or another. I was one of the few students in the computer science and math department that was given a teaching fellow position as an undergraduate at Harvard. So, I was a teaching fellow for my classmates in my year. And that's just, because I worked hard at it. I loved it. I love it. I love teaching and I love learning. So, you want a person who like that running the school that you go to. All right. Learning Ayurveda is like drinking from a fire hose at times. It'll be a little overwhelming in the beginning. Stick through the, after the 3 months or so. This is true. Just the way Ayurveda is. In the beginning, it's a little bit like drinking from a fire hose, but then it all comes together because you kind of have to know all of it before you understand any of it. So it can, anyway, you'll see. Let's see, I've sort of talked a little bit about this, student body. I want to make sure, just because we're running out of time here, yes, we do have, our student body is like, all kinds of folks with different experience, right? Many different opportunities after you graduate to start your own private clinical practice, to integrate Ayurveda into yoga classes, or start doing seasonal retreats. And I recommend, I recommend that you actually do, your clinical practice and the retreats, right? Teaching Ayurveda at local hospitals or spas and universities. This is what our students do. Or cooking healthy food at a cafe or restaurant. Like if you have a calling to be a chef, you can totally up-level your artistic expression around food. I myself am a foodie. Like I was initially interested in Ayurveda because of Ayurveda's perspective on food, and I found it greatly enhanced my artistic expression as a cook. And that I think is exciting to know that Ayurveda is not just healthy, it's just very tasty too. That's exciting. And that's because it's natural. It can do both of those at the same time. Right? Nurses integrating Ayurveda into quality of life care. Our students have written books and created movies about Ayurveda. They work in integrative clinics. Some of our students are mental health counselors that are integrating a dietary component. Any situation where you are taking care of others, you can bring Ayurveda into it. A daycare center, anything like that. Okay. All right. Generally, what is the format of our courses? You're going to get in the fundamentals course, you will get 180 pre-recorded presentations split up by week. So you'll get 3 presentations a week, and then we will meet the following week to discuss those. So every week we are meeting live to discuss last week's presentations, right? So so you will do a self-study on those presentations, do the active learning exercises to help you engage with the material, and then we review the material together, correct any gaps, add to the presentation any nuanced information in a basically the live classes are conversational. We maximizing interaction between students and teachers, and each week you'll get 2 body awareness experiments as well. You can expect to spend about 10 to 12 hours a week in the course. For the 2-year course, we are meeting 30 weeks the first year and 36 weeks the second year. So that way, no, total of 70 weeks out of the 2 years. So you can see from that we roughly have a week break once every 5 weeks or so. So 4 or 5 weeks, you get a week break, whether it's Thanksgiving, the Christmas, New Year holiday, winter break, spring break, Memorial Day, or summer break. You'll see that we're never that far from a break where you step back from the course, contemplate what you've learned, enjoy some time with your family, and then get back in action. The Mastering Ayurveda Digestion Nutrition course, that's 60 pre-recorded presentations covering 30 major GI disorders. And through those disorders, we teach all the digestive disorder patterns from the perspective of Ayurveda. So when we study IBS, we'll study 10 different types of IBS from an Ayurveda perspective. And by the time we get to done with all the diseases, you'll know all the disorder patterns. This also meets 3 times a week for 90 live reviews. And you do a body awareness experiment every week and a case study. In the digestion course, you also develop a therapeutic protocol, which is like a 25-page protocol. It's awesome. Students are, terrified of it every year because they might not have written a paper in 25 years. They've been out of school for a while. But don't worry, we will hold your hand through every step of the process. And I can tell you that although students are terrified before they start, almost all of our students say that was one of the most was one of the most favorite parts of the study, was developing their own therapeutic protocol and specialty that they can share with their clients, excuse me, and other students after they graduate. The herbalist course. You can take a look at the expanded curriculum here. I talked a little bit about that. Ayurveda, Chinese medical, and Western herbal treatment strategies and formulation strategies. Also, in that course, you will get a in-depth understanding of major Western herbs and major Ayurvedic herbs. We do not cover Chinese herbs. We cover Chinese clinical strategies using Ayurvedic and Western herbs, but we do not review the Chinese medical apothecary. Just want to make that clear. We do medicine making. We'll discuss some phytochemistry in addition to the Ayurveda paradigm, and that will help you sort of see the herb. Yeah, we'll look over classical formulations from the Ayurveda Materia Medica. We do botany. You will spend time in the woods with herbs in this course. And yeah. Yeah, so botanical field work. You'll taste and sample 42 herbs and Ayurveda formulas. So you will have a lot of experience through that. And then you'll analyze them together as a class. They'll includes 33 live in-class herbal consults and 18 private clinical consultations. We'll go over legal considerations and laws, including labeling laws for herbs, all that kind of stuff. We'll discuss herb-drug interactions and contraindications. Yeah. Great. You'll learn how to make poultices, all that kind of stuff. Medicated ghees, medicated oils, nasya oils. We're going to learn herbs with a two-prong approach. We learn bottom up, herb by herb, and top down, system by system. So we'll look at herbs for the respiratory tract and compare them. And we'll also go bottom up, where we look at herb by herb. And I think that's the best way to learn herbs. The Panchakarma course includes all aspects of Panchakarma, which is an in-depth study even on its own. And then the classical ancient texts will study all major diseases in Charaka. And then we'll discuss spa therapies, marma, nutraceuticals, Western medical testing. And you'll also be working and doing Panchakarma with your clients under a mentor. If you miss a live class time, this happens all the time, that students are like, wait a second, I can't attend the Tuesday night class. Don't worry about that. Every thing is recorded. And we have a way of tracking your attendance, even if you listen to the recording. So you can attend by recording, no worries. And most of our students have some schedule conflict. So, you know, you're in good company. Students can make 2 out of 3 per week. Some can attend all 3, and that's great if you can. And almost everyone finds that there is at least one time a week where they can attend the live class and interact with the teachers. And I think that's good. Prerequisites. The Ayurveda Health Counselor course, that's for students who are new to Ayurveda. There's no prerequisites. For the Digestive and Herb course, some background in health and wellness. For the digestive course, so if you are a medical doctor and don't know Ayurveda yet, you can take that course. If you're a massage therapist or a mental health worker, you could take that course. But all students have to have some kind of background in health and wellness. It can be informal. If you send me a picture of your library, you're like, I've read thousands of books on this and I've been into it for 20 years. Yes. If you have an advanced digestive disorder, you could take that course as well, because that itself is a background in health and wellness. If you have any question about whether you meet any of these prerequisites, just reach out. You can text me at 828-785-8213. I'll just give my number in the chat here. And I'll be happy to, answer any questions you have about meeting prerequisites. For the herb course, you really want to have familiarity with either Ayurveda concepts, TCM, traditional Chinese medical concepts, or Western herbalism. Otherwise, that course will be just a little overwhelming. You don't want to just jump in there. I mean, we will let you do whatever. If when I was a freshman at Harvard, My advisor said, John, don't take those classes. You're going to just sink. It's going to be like the Titanic, sinking. And I looked at my advisor and I said, look, I'm going to take these courses. I'm not backing down from this. And I went and I did it. And, 3 months in, I was in real trouble. I was sinking. I'd failed an exam or two, but I pushed and I kept at it. And by the end of the semester, I passed my final with an A, and the teacher just erased, the grade I got on the midterm, because he saw that I understood it. And since from that point on, I was like a whole year ahead of all of my other classmates. And so I'm just going to say, I'm not going to put the brakes on you. You jump into whatever wherever you want to go, and I will support you. But I'm going to be like that advisor to give you advice, right? And I'm going to just say, hey, maybe you want to take the 2-year course first and get those foundations, right? So, but I won't stand in your way, okay? Panchakarma cleanse specialist. For that course, you really want to have the Ayurveda health counselor course before you do it. You need to really know Ayurveda before you jump into Panchakarma. Panchakarma can be a little dangerous, right? It's awesome, it's powerful, it's great, but you need to know enough not to hurt your clients. Okay. All right. The AHC course. 12 to 13 hours a week. I'm gonna scale that back just a little bit. We redesigned a lot of the homeworks in the last year, expanding the number of subjects, but in such a way that actually reduced student time. So I'm just going to say a flat 12 on that per week for the AHC course, and 10 hours a week if you have a good command of anatomy and physiology. Like if you're a medical doctor or a nurse, or in becoming a massage therapist, you have to study anatomy and physiology. This would be more like 10 hours a week for you. The digestion course, 8 to 10 hours a week. 6 hours if you have good command of anatomy and physiology. The herbal course, a solid 12 hours a week. The Panchakarma course, 5 hours a week. Okay. Good. Everything's recorded. When you're studying those presentations, this is what I love about asynchronous learning, is you study when your brain's fresh. My brain is fresh at 5 a.m. My wife's brain is fresh at 11 p.m. So if we were both taking this Ayurveda course, she'd be watching the presentation at 11, I'd be watching it at 5 a.m. And then we'd meet together for the live class. So I think that's a great thing about asynchronous learning, is you work when your brain is on instead of off. We know life happens when you're a student. We've had students like a parent passed during their study, and they had to, they had to grieve. They also had to like wrap up their parents' estate. And it was just like, okay, we're not going to see you for a month and a half, but then they came back, and, we make it work. Again, our course is designed for leaders. Leaders are busy, so we are flexible. I want the top-notch students that have busy lives, because those are the movers and shakers, right? So I'm making this course for you. This is not like, oh, this is a hard course, don't take it. This guy's from Harvard and I'm going to get, whooped. No, that's not it. You can do the course. If you love it, you will be able to do this course. I've already said a great educator is a person who takes complex things and makes them simple. I'm not going to make it complicated for you. It's work, but we are flexible and we'll make it work for you. All you have to do is just stick with it, and you will cross the finish line. I promise you. And we will help you get there. So time, I know, is a major factor to people's enrolling in a course. Just know that, we're your like ambassador, we're the one that's going to make it work for you. So assignments and tests, they are graded pass fail. It's a non-competitive, supportive environment. We do have a midterm and final. Now, some people are like, oh my goodness, I don't like taking tests. I'm just going to say every client you meet is a midterm or a final, because you don't know what your client's going to have. And so you meet them and you're like, oh, you have that. Well, guess what? That's what the midterm is you see the next question and it's like, oh yeah, well, so it's good. It's a good thing to take all of what you know and have it available at your fingertips, right? So I know some students are afraid of test taking. I'm also going to say, like, don't look at these things as things to be afraid of. Look at these things as benefits and just trust us. All right, we'll teach you how to create a clinic. I already said all about that, running the clinic. Timeline. The herb course, the 2-year fundamentals course and the Panchakarma course all start last week of August. The digestion course starts the 2nd week of October. There's a huge advantage to signing up early. If you know you want to sign up now because you can get the pre-course materials. I'll get you started with your textbooks. You can start your summer reading. I'm going to tell you the textbooks that you get, those textbooks usually like are the whole course at another school. So it's like what I'm going to give you for reading over the summer, like that's their whole course. And then we're going to build on top of that, right? So yeah, so you can start doing the reading on that and you will get the basics and that will just make the course breezy for you if you do some reading now, right? Might as well enjoy that time at the beach, jump in the water, swim with the waves a little bit, and then come out and do some summer reading on the beach and get to contemplate deep, awesome things about your body, right? It's fun. It's fun. So might as well go start now, right? So if you start on the pre-course, you'll basically be doing assignments that are in the course, just doing them early. The pre-course is the course, but we cherry-picked a few. And the reading will orient you in Ayurveda so that you come to class day 1 and you're like, oh yeah, I'm not like, this isn't the first time I heard this. It's a good thing. Calls will generally be attended by 20 to 30 students. All right, how to register. First of all, tuition fees for the programs and how to register. Yeah, tuition fees for AHC, $6,999 for the 2 years. That's $3,500 a month. Like, just listen to all that you've heard in the last hour and just ask yourself, like, is that worth $3,500? It is. I mean, it's a very competitive price that we're offering it to you, and we can do that because we're efficient. I was in the computer science department. I made Joyful Belly run efficiently, and we can do it. And so we can pass that cost savings to you. I know that for some people, when they look at it, $7,000 price tag, they're like, wow, that's a lot. But I'm also just going to say, like, your time investment is more than the money. Just want to make sure you're thinking about this properly, right? The money may be hard, but really, the amount of time you're putting into the course is actually the biggest investment. Is this something that you have a calling to? If it is, go for it. You will not miss that $7,000 and you will get it back in like 1,000 ways. The digestion course and the herbal course, $4,500. The Panchakarma course, $5,999. All right. Yeah. So $250 a month payment plans for MID and CAH, a little bit more like $350 a month. Call us if you have financial concerns or time concerns, and we will, help you put together a plan. Okay. The main things that deter students from registering is time or finances, support from a spouse, or career planning. They don't have a vision for their career plan yet. So if you have questions in these areas, call admissions. You also saw my cell phone. I gave it to you, in the chat, and I'm happy. I can answer any question about our programs, because, I run the company. So All right, let me take a look at how to register here. So you just go to the top of the website, you click on Study Ayurveda, and then you click on one of the courses, and then you click to register now for the 250-month payment plan, or you can you can register with a $600 deposit as well. You can do one or the other, not both. Every year we get people like register with the $600 deposit and the monthly payment plan. You don't need to do that, just one or the other. And if you register with the deposit, that means you're going to pay off the balance before the first day of class. For AHC, it's a 2-year course. You only pay the first year. Same thing with the Panchakarma course. It's a 2-year course. You're only paying the first year balance. All right, so that's how you register. You just click this button, register now for $250 a month, and then just go to the checkout and you can do it online. I'm happy to enroll you over the phone, and then I can give you an orientation and stuff too. But if you enroll yourself, student support will contact you within 24 hours or 48 hours if for the weekend, and schedule your orientation and walk you through it so that you make sure we have access to everything and it's all working. If you want more information, go to the school tab right here. You see about the school, but you also see academic calendar, meet our teachers, careers in Ayurveda, testimonials, accreditation, legal status, how to choose an Ayurveda school guide, school FAQ. So you got all that information at your fingertips. I try to answer all your questions. That's basically, what my goal is. And hopefully I answered most of them just from today's conversation. And I see some questions in the chat, which I will address now as well. But before I do, I just want to thank you for taking an interest in our school, but more importantly, in your body and health and Ayurveda, that you are taking a step forward to go deeper into health. We say disease is contagious, but health is also contagious. When people see you living a healthier life, they become curious and want to know and reach out. And so it's not just disease that's contagious. Health is contagious. Already by coming today, you are helping us participate. You are helping us and participating in our mission to bring Ayurveda to the public. So I do appreciate that. All right. So with that, let me take questions. Let's see. How long does the Ayurvedic herbalist course last? It's 1 year, from August to June. And then you'll be finishing up clinic over the summer at your own pace. All right. Next question. My training. What is my training? So I would have to say that the bulk of my training comes from working with our teachers. So yes, I went to and studied Ayurveda. I also studied Ayurveda in India under a Vaidya there. And I did a lot of research on my own also. So, I got my Ayurveda certification. I studied in India as well. And then after I graduated, I did a ton of research, especially in the area of digestion, but then also working with a team of Ayurveda practitioners to put together the course. I would say it was like a whole nother education. And then running the school since 2008, over 16 years now. Every year we learn from our students and their various expertise. Also, I will just say, Stephanie, that the thousands of articles I wrote on the website were also part of my education. So I would say my education is quite broad and involved many other practitioners, not just one perspective, and many years as well. I continue to learn. I have to say that sometimes I feel like oh my goodness, like I've just learned the same amount, you know, this year that I have, the second year I was out in practice. So it is amazing how it just continues to grow. It really is. How else can I help? What other questions can I answer? You can unmute your line and say it out loud, or um, put it in the chat.
Well, this is Stephanie again, and I don't mean to sort of dominate the asking questions part.
Oh,
but
please do.
I'm curious, John, do you find not Ayurveda itself, but perhaps the application in the US in particular more challenging now than it used to be? I'm thinking, like, for example, I mean, you gave several examples with respect to like diabetes, or at least you raised it a couple times. Now there's these new weight loss drugs that, you can read articles in the papers on, and the result of what it means when people get off, right? Or the side effects. How has that impacted your own practice? And it's just an example. You feel free to pick a different one, but I'm just wondering, has it become more challenging to serve clients today than maybe even 5 years ago, or is it the other way around?
I have to say that it's neither harder nor easier. It's great to see more people are open to health and wellness, but I can't say that diseases are always changing. COVID-19 came, we all needed to understand how to respond to that. Then weight loss drugs come, then we respond to that. It is not unusual for the landscape to change. Remember, Ayurveda is not as much a body of knowledge as it is a methodology. We apply the same methodology to the new circumstances and analyze it, and thereby grow in our understanding. So I can't say that. I mean, it's exciting when things change because you get to figure it out, and that's enjoyable. But I can't say that it's harder. I can say that the body is still the body. And that's our main focus, is understanding the body. Disease is actually a secondary thing. We're trying to understand human nature and how to support it. And there are various stressors that will, change the qualities of the body and how the body responds. That, it may be expressing inflammatory processes, or metabolism can be depressed or hyperactive. All of those things are how the body is responding to the disorder. And that's what we're analyzing, is the body's response to disorder, and then trying to temper that to what is needed for the situation. So, yeah, I can say that it's not fundamentally different today than it was 5 years ago, with the only exception that there's greater acceptance of it. There's more people interested.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Yeah. I'll also say, Stephanie, that in the case of diabetes, the main challenge with diabetes clients is just compliance. We all know what adult onset diabetes, what we need to do in order to fix it. The main issue there is compliance, right? It's how do we inspire the client? We all know what to do in that case, but getting the client to do it is the struggle. And that is where, we want to have that deeper insight into their nature so that we can see what the true obstacles are.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any other questions? Oh, I see one here. Anna asks, the Ayurveda Health Counselor course has a digestive course in it, or is the program different? None of our courses have strong overlap. So there's minimal overlap between our courses. Yes, the Ayurveda Health Counselor course includes digestion, but by week 3 of the digestion course, we're like beyond it, right? So the proper way to think of the digestion course is as like a gastroenterology course, where that's what you would do. If you have a medical education, you're going to cover digestion, but not at the level of gastroenterology. Then you take a specialization course, you go deeper. So it's the same for the herb course. So students take our students may take all 4 of the courses, and they do not experience significant overlap between them. Candace is asking me to post my number again. Absolutely, Candace. Nope. Let's see if I can do this. 828-78. There we go, Candace. I just posted it again. 828-785-8213. What other questions can I help with? All right, everybody. I will let you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for coming here today again, for your interest in Ayurveda, for your interest in health. We spent I'm so glad I got to spend an hour and a half with you, and appreciate your questions. Let me know how else I can help. Text me your questions, give me a call. If I can't pick up, I will text you back with some times that I can talk, and we'll get a chance to meet each other, and I can respond a little more personally then. So I want to thank you all again. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and take care. Hope to see you in class. Good night now.